Whoa, whoa, whoa. Welcome to the daily rundown here on Proview Networks. Adam makes that spin look incredibly easy. Adam Diehl is not in today. That is Alden Balso Hardy University Iwani, Josh Beartrap Brown, Jason Pohl, Josh Luna, crew in the zoo today, making it work. Huge week today, this week, right guys? I mean, Friday night, NMAA girls basketball tournament kicks off. Saturday is the boys' home games for the upper seeds. Whew.
Yeah, it's game time. It's game time.
Here we go. Here we go, people. You know, if you're not prepared to ride on the roller coaster of the state basketball tournament, it's time to get off now because things are about to get real crazy. I mean, starting off with girls on Friday and going into the boys on Saturday. I mean, we got a lot of good matchups here on the girls' side here in town.
Buy your NFHS pass.
Buy your NFHS passes right now.
ProviewNetworks.com. There is a big link right at the top, NFHS logo. Just click on it, sign up, watch the entire
60, 70 games for $5-10.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a deal.
You can't go wrong with it.
That's a deal.
If you're in town, I mean, you can't go wrong with headed down to the pit. See it in live, get the pass too. You know, see your favorite team live, then head home, catch a nightcap on the NFHS network.
Or if you're one of these visiting teams and you play your game in the morning and you don't want to chill at the pit all day, but you want to watch the game still, perfect way to
Where do you go?
NFHS pass.
All right, here's a quick question. Do you think this is about to be the most exciting state basketball tournament we've had so far? I think I'm hyped on it.
I mean, I'm hyped on all rounds. It is. I mean, we lost that 6A classification. Crammed it down to 5A. I know other teams like Hope jumping up from that 3A to 4A or staying in that 4A, but seeing a tougher competition. I mean, you had the likes of Bernalillo, Espanola Valley. I mean, and then, I mean, basically it's hate to say it, with the exception of Las Cruces and 5A boys, it's been the District 1 show.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'd have to totally agree with that. I mean, with all these districts getting realigned and stuff in basketball, I think especially in the 4A, on the 4A side, I mean, that's going to be one of the best brackets in and out, just because of all the competitions that are meeting together. You know, you got the Highlands, the Del Nortes, the Valleys, the Hopes, the Espanola Valleys. I mean
all of them right there.
It's Bernalillo. I mean, the list goes on, and all of these schools have proved, Josh, that they are solid schools in basketball, and they have great fans. I mean, I'm issuing a challenge to all you kids out there. You know, show up to these state basketball games, show your school pride, root your teams on. I mean,
spring break here in the Albuquerque metro area, there's no reason why you can't go cheer on your teams.
One of the best experiences I've ever had filming here was a couple years ago for the Hope Christian girls Shiprock game. Like, I mean, the pit was rocking like the pit used to rock back in like the early 2000s, 90s. You know, I mean, it was the pit. It was an experience. It was for all you kids that are too young that didn't get to experience the true pit. Why don't you just make it for yourselves and come on down?
Just did it. I mean, with that said, I mean, let's start looking at some brackets, huh, Jason?
Get
excited. Why not try A boys?
Let's try, 1A boys.
Let's go 1A boys. I mean, see, we got the 1A, the 1 seed there, Quemato taking on Walatoa down there. I mean, these are all going to be Saturday games. These are all home games for the upper seeds. Gateway Christian going to take on Elida. Melrose hosts Animas. Logan taking on Cimarron. Maxwell taking on Evangelo Grove. Tatum hosting Foothill. The New Mexico School for the Deaf taking on Vaughn. Fort Sumner taking on Tehadley.
You know, I actually have a lot of experience in the 1A field for my days in Bernalillo or doing the games at Bernalillo. I mean, look at all these schools, Quemato, I mean, Gateway, Elida. They're all traditionally powerhouses. I would look for Logan. Logan is always a very good school. They always have talent. I would say one of the teams out of the top 4 that people aren't counting on is probably Logan. You know, and then I mean also Fort Sumner. I mean, I'm pretty sure the Foxes made the championship game last year. I think they might have possibly took it last year. I'm not 200% sure on that.
Yeah.
But Fort Sumner is a powerhouse.
Those 5-6s, Melrose and Tatum, always tough.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, Tatum, you can't count them out. Elida, I mean, on the girls' side, they're unstoppable pretty much. But Elida's good. Me and you have been down to Gateway Christian before.
Yeah, did some football championships down there.
You know, they're going to be ready to play. This is going to be a really good bracket. I mean, Melrose and Animas too.
Yeah, that'll be a great matchup.
That's a great matchup.
What you see here, like we said, the upper seeds will host the games, and those quarterfinal matchups will be Wednesday at Bernalillo High School, March 13th. So, I mean, huge on that one. And
here's a little something.
For us.
Kamato's 26. Kamato went 26-1 this year, and it looks like their schedule. They've played everybody. But Walatawa
Charter School. Yeah,
that's their first bet, and their record is 12-10.
I mean, it's the state tournament time. I mean, what can you say? I mean, traditionally, you'll see that number 1 seed go on, but I mean, that's what's great about New Mexico. I mean, New Mexico basketball is that. I mean, any team can win.
Yep. And state's the time to prove it. I think Rio Rancho Rams proved that with the 11th seed.
Yeah, one being the 11th seed going on.
All right.
And strange things happen at this state tournament. So let's go on to the 1A girls bracket there. All right.
I'd say a lot of similarities with the boys. Melrose.
Yeah, Melrose taking on
I've been in it. Elida, they've definitely been in it a lot. Cliff and Fort Sumner are definitely big players in this 1A division. Kamado and Logan once again. I mean, Hondo Valley and Des Moines. They're also.
You see there,
they're always decent. They've always had a decent turnout. And I mean, Tatum and Dora, exactly the same thing. I mean, I expect Tatum to do good things in this.
I heard a funny story last night at Fat Tuesday with my parents.
So
my dad was saying the Roy teams, they've been playing the whole year with 5 players.
5 players. No
five
subs.
players. 5 players the whole year. So they've joined up with Mosquito, which used to be their crosstown rivals. They joined up, and they're playing their 13th seed in this 1A state
taking
championship.
On Pine Hill. I mean, if that's got to build grit and determination. I mean, playing with 5 the whole year, no subs. I mean, that's Iron Man basketball right there, Iron Lady basketball.
That's huge. Good job for that one.
I mean, should we circle that one? Is that the 1A girls bracket there? That's the one we should look for.
That's the one we should
Pine
look
Hill,
for.
Roy Mosquito.
They got heart. They got heart.
Heart. All right, let's do it.
Miles and miles of heart.
Hey, that's all you need at this time. All right, going on to the 2A boys bracket. I mean, Pecos up there. Ira Hodge going for number 3.
Ooh.
I mean, taking on Monte del Sol. Got Magdalena taking on
From the words
Estancia.
of Manny Lucero, apparently they could take down any team. They're that good.
Yeah, the Pecos is that good. I mean, Ira Hodge, great coach. I mean, what can you say about him? Him and his dad. I mean, great basketball know-how and knowledge.
And then also too, Santa Rosa, they've been really good for the past couple, 2 or 3 years.
Shout out T.O. What do you think about the Lions there?
Yeah, and then also too, Texaco and Manal, they're always big players. Manal
lost their big, I forget his name.
Michael Oon.
Yeah, big 7-footer. He was fun to watch last year in that state title game.
Yeah, and you know, there's also the ones that pop up to me also are just Mesilla Valley.
Yes, that's what I was going to go. That 7-10 matchup, that Mesilla Valley Rehoboth, that is going to be a great matchup.
And McCurdy and Escalante. I mean, that's also going to be a very good matchup.
Yeah, Newcomb, that 3 seed coming in, so huge there. Move on to the 2A girls, Jay.
Why not? Let's give a shout out to Roger Holian. Shiprock Hope was a great game, is what he said. Alden.
Yeah. Roger Holian, friend of the program. So we got the 2A girls bracket here. That Texaco takes on Loving in that 116. Mescalero Magdalena. Estancia taking on Rehoboth Christian. Dulce will take on Newcomb. Pecos taking on TC Guy. Hope I said that right. My apologies. Lordsburg hosts Cloudcroft. Clayton will take on Alamo Navajo. And Penasco will take on McCurdy.
The 2 matchups that stand out to me, Josh, in this one are the Penasco Panthers and McCurdy. You know, Penasco, I'm pretty sure they made a championship run last year, or they made it really far in the tournament. Also, Mescalero, Magdalena, those are always 2 traditionally decent schools, and that's going to be a great 8-9 matchup to see who plays Texaco and Loving in that next round.
Again, I'm looking again at that 7-10. I mean, Alamo Navajo always plays tough.
Yeah.
So,
oh yeah.
So look at that. I mean, both 2A and 2A boys and girls, they'll start Tuesday, March 12th at the Santa Ana Star Center. 8 a.m. is the first tip-off game. Go ahead and check it out, Max Preps, if you need those brackets. Or we do have a copy at Proview Networks with links to each game. So that, all right. Whoa, jumping ship here, going to that 3A boys.
Yep. Got to keep it going, people.
Keep it going here. I mean, number one
Dons.
seed up in Santa Fe, the St. Mike's Horsemen. I mean, can't go wrong there. Taking on Theroux, West Las Vegas, the Dons. Richard Tripp, friend of the program, rooting for his Dons always, taking on Bosque. Cuba there with that 5 seed, Ron Molina's favorite
Ron Molina,
team.
shout out.
Taking on East Mountain at home. Then that 4 seed, Santa Fe Indian, always tough. Taking on Nimi.
That should be a great game.
That should be
I'm
a
looking
good game
forward
there,
to
that
that
4-13. Hot Springs, Tularosa, Wingate, Robertson. We got Navajo Prep. Again, that 7-10 looks like in almost all of these classes, that 7-10 is a really tough matchup. And then Sandia Prep hosts Cobre there at the 2-15 matchup.
You know, I'm looking at St. Michael's. You know, I think it's their turn to take over this 3A side in basketball, especially on the boys' side. I mean, they're a couple, aren't they just a couple years removed from a state championship?
A couple of years removed, and I mean, it's always a battle between them, West Las Vegas, Robertson, in that district.
And then Sandia Prep, I mean, a lot of these teams are just happy that they don't have to deal with Hope Christian anymore.
Yeah,
let me tell you.
Pump it up.
Let me tell you that they are very glad that Jim Murphy and the Huskies moved on to 4A.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So I mean, technically, we'll see a new champ out of this.
See them, and I mean, Hot Springs, that 3 seed, always tough coming out of Tier C. They're always great down there.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of things, good things about Hot Springs. They could definitely be one of those top 4 seeds, or that could win that nobody was really thinking of.
Yeah, moving on to the 3A girls bracket. All right, much like the boys, I mean, see most of the same teams here. Robertson pulling out that number 1 seed from East Las Vegas there. You got West Las Vegas taking on Tohatchee at the 8-9 seed. Navajo Prep hosting St. Michael's. That should be a good one there.
Gosh, look at that. The one that sticks out to me right away is that 2-15.
2-15.
Like,
Santa Fe
I would love to go and see that game. Santa Fe Indian versus Laguna Acoma. I mean, that place is going to be rocking. Like, I would love to go to that game.
That would be a huge game.
But yeah, we got Sandia Prep. I mean, West Las Vegas, Robertson, Cobre.
Yeah. That should be. I mean, if it pans out, I mean, that's a intertown rivalry.
And always watch out for Hatch Valley too. Hatch Valley could definitely sneak in there.
Yeah, Hatch Valley taking on Theroux, Tucumcari holding Cube off there. Tularosa, Sandia Prep. Socorro and Crown Point there at that 7-10.
I think that 5-12 matchup should be really good too. That Navajo Prep and St. Mike's.
Yeah, that should be a good one there as well. All right, let's jump on, keep on moving here. Move on to that 4A boys, getting out of the Los Lunas Tigers there at that number 1 seed. What can you say about Zane Zeller? Probably the best player in the state, huh?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely easily.
That, I mean, taking on Artesia there, then, you know, Valencia hosts Taos. Espanola Valley, Del Norte, 2 years ago? That was that same matchup. Del Norte went up to Espanola Valley, took care of them. Go Knights. We'll see if they can pull it off. I mean, Espanola Valley is tough this year. I don't know if that's actually they are tough playing at home. That place is ruckus. That is one of the toughest places to play
definitely.
in the state.
Hands down. And then
also Gallup, Bernalillo.
Yeah.
Gallup, another one of the toughest places to play in the state. I mean,
I mean, back when Cibola was in a district with Gallup, we used to travel down there for Gallup basketball games, and since they're in our district, and man, that place rocks. Yeah. It rocks. So
we've seen Bernalillo a few times. I mean, we'll see if they can hold up with that. I mean, because the crowd factors in those places.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you know, look at that Valley Highland, the 7-10 matchup.
That could be a good one there. I mean, Silver, Ruidoso, Goddard, Portales, Hope, Christian Mymerek. Hope sitting there in that 2 seed. I mean, moving up, taking on this extended competition. Can Jim Murphy make it 7?
Well, you know, I would say yes, but I will say this though. Hope Christian has played Valley already, and if Valley wins, they have beaten the Hope Christian Huskies before. I know it was at Valley, which Valley has under Joe Coleman like a 90% winning percentage there. But I mean, if Hope Christian, if they don't bring their A game against either Valley or Highland, I've seen Highland in the Metro tournament hang around with some of these 5A schools.
Yeah,
so that was just in Metro.
Right, looking at this bracket though, Alvin, can you imagine? Espanola takes care of Del Norte. Gallup takes care of Bernalillo. That is a first-round quarter matchup in the pit. And looking at the bracket here, that is a Tuesday night matchup. It'll be at 6:30 if that happens. Can you imagine?
Jeez.
Imagine how packed the pit's going to be for that one.
Right, and I mean, and it's also real nice that we've seen a couple of these teams already. Taos is no slouch, you know. I mean, this bracket is loaded.
4A is loaded for the boys. I mean, and then jumping to the girls, loaded there too. I mean, we have Kirtland Central taking on Shiprock. That's going to be a huge
two powerhouses
matchup. Yeah,
right there in girls basketball.
Portales Artesia, Highland, Lonnie Neal over there doing a great job at Highland. They're going to take on Los Alamos. Poake Valley over taking on Espanola Valley. That'll be another good one. Gallup Grants. That little I-40 rivalry right there. First round, Silver Goddard. St. Pius taking on Hope Christian. That should be a good one there. Los Lunas Bernalillo. I mean, huge ones there.
Yeah, oh yeah. And I mean, I definitely look for Coach Zeller and the Los Lunas Tigers to possibly get 3 or 4 state championships in the past 3 or 4 years. I mean, they've been on it. They've been controlling this classification. But Kirtland Central, you know what? They are the classic. They're the predominant like old school class, and I mean they're like the Hobbs of girls basketball. I mean
of that 4A, Kirtland Central dominant. So I mean, I'm thinking looking at this, I mean it looks pretty good to be that 1-2 matchup, that Kirtland Central Los Lunas matchup. I'd love to see that.
Oh yeah, that would be amazing. That would be, and I mean with both sides too. I mean Los Lunas girls is they have such a complete team, Josh. I mean, if you really think about it too, they lost a lot of their key players from the championship last year, and they won, and they're still dominating this year with, I mean, 2 or 3 key players from last year's team going on and graduating. So
well,
I mean, those Los Lunas Tigers definitely.
This is your neighborly Travelocity. Travel guide.
Jason, the travel agent poll.
Yeah,
we're going to bring in the third member of our
Davis.
team.
Steve Davis said he's going to take some time away from his vacation. Talk about the 5A brackets coming in.
Yeah, that's what we figured. I mean, he's usually sending Alden to all kinds of places in the world. Where did Steve give himself a trip to today?
All right.
Oh yeah, there he is there. Taking some beach time, Steve?
Yeah, I got that suntan lotion on, and I got my beads. I'm right here.
Tuesday, Mardi Gras was last night.
You know, I really appreciate you guys. Actually, you're having good weather in Albuquerque right now.
Yeah, it's not bad here. You know, not beautiful beaches and sand, and you know, but we'll take it. 60s.
I just wanted to let you guys know you're doing a great job doing colors. So don't expect me to do a good job of doing directing, okay? So I don't want this role to change, okay?
Yeah, right. Serious.
We'll stick behind the camera. We enjoy taking it over. But let's jump right in. The big one, the 5A boys bracket here. Volcano Vista hosts Carlsbad. Hobbs taking on your Clovis Wildcats there, Steve. Santa Fe hosts Monzano. El Dorado hosted Capital. Rio Rancho will host Gadsden. Trisco hosts Roswell. Cleveland hosts La Cueva. Las Cruces hosts Oñate. All right, we know Volcano is there at the 1 seed, but I mean everybody's been talking about that 2 seed for Las Cruces. I mean, did they deserve that 1 seed, or did they kind of, you know?
Well, I don't know. I think they deserve it, if that's the question too.
Yeah.
It is okay because they're 29 and all.
Okay. Let me ask you that. Let me change that. Does an undefeated seed automatically deserve a 1 seed in your opinion?
Well, with the criteria, they did the criteria, and you got to go by the criteria, or you change the criteria. Okay. So it's not a debate. But it's a public, you know, something in the public eyes where you can controversy or something to think about in the future. But you know, and hear me out. Here's where I come from on this. You know, get a top 8 seed.
Yeah.
You get a home game and then go win it all.
Yeah, you still got to win 4 games.
I mean, there's.
I mean, I've watched teams over the years, over the last 11 years, especially doing this breakdown and doing all this, is that they get too caught up in the hype and not worry about winning it on the game. And a lot of teams get upset that first game. And, and I tell you what, Las Cruces is playing on Yate, and Yate's got Lujan, and he's probably one of the best guards in the state. And so the
huge district matchup too. So
and they played each other. It's hard to beat a team 4 times in a row. For you Southern people, Las Cruces just needed to worry about winning that first game, and then just win the state championship. And guess what? Then you can say you were shafted on being number 1.
Yeah, exactly.
Did it there, and then
I mean, even too, if they beat Oñate, I mean, look at that. Most people would consider some people would consider Las Cruces and Cleveland the 2 best teams in the state. And then they could potentially meet in the second round.
In that
I totally
quarterfinal
agree with Steve. I mean, like these home games. I mean, home games are only in the first round, so that's where really only where getting a higher seed helps. I mean, after that, it's all a neutral courts. So,
I mean, that's how I look at it.
Anything can happen.
You're going to have to play everybody. You can be controversial and say, hey, 29-0. Hey, that's impressive, right? Coach Benjamin
is. I mean,
probably
that's
the
huge.
best winning coach in the last 4 years.
Oh,
okay,
yeah,
so
hands
that
down,
he don't have to guess his team and what people think across the state. I mean, he's a class act, and he's done a great job of doing what he needs to do with his team.
Yeah.
Great bulletin board
That is. I mean, it is
material
bulletin
too.
See if they
You guys, you know what? You guys have stirred up some.
We have, given Las Cruces.
You know what? We might as well bring up the La Cueva.
Bring out that 710 La Cueva. I mean, we've seen them.
I mean, you're already jumping. You're already jumping over La Cueva. You're already putting them down. You already got them playing Las Cruces.
I mean, the way Cleveland has been played, and Cleveland's proved me wrong several times, going with Rio Rancho as lock of the weeks over them. I mean, and La Cueva even over El Dorado.
I will say this about Cleveland, though, but that they've had great teams over the past 5-6 years. How many basketball state championships do they have to show for it?
So back to Cleveland. I'm going to tell you right now. Back to Cleveland. Think about it. I think he got in the finals last year. He was in the semifinals the year before, and he's only been coaching. This is his 3rd year. They're knocking on the door.
Yeah, they're taking steps every year, and I mean, I'd hate to say it, they do have Amir Muhammad and Jalen Munn, but I think Moreno and Josh Terry there for that Cleveland are
you guys have been giving that for me.
Oh, come on. We have done several Cleveland games.
Don't doubt the Isles.
Hey, you know what?
Isles for the Cueva, If he's hitting outside.
Smith in there with that thing, because that kid plays some great defense.
Yeah, he does. And I mean, and Cleveland, look out for Derek Isles. If he's on and shooting, I mean,
let's go to some other matchups real quick.
I'd like to talk about that 8-9, Steve, that Hobbs-Clovis matchup. That should be a really good one.
Some people say that the Hobbs team is the dark horse team coming in.
They got some players back coming in to go
What
through
do you think
districts.
about that, Steve?
Well, here's what's scary. I'm going to go with Clovis, and just because that's who I bleed. Okay, but for Clovis to go back in 2 weekends to win. And if they win that game, you better watch out for Clovis. Okay, Clovis is going to be the dark horse.
Yeah.
Either 2 of these teams are going to be the dark horse, because they already played Volcano and they played them in a close game. All right, so they've already matched up one time, so the players know each other, and it could be a challenge for Volcano if again. All these we're assuming that Volcano's going to win.
Yeah, we're assuming they're going to beat Carlsbad.
I argue with this with
Carlsbad
everybody. I talk with everybody on this. Every game's there's no upsets at this Chase game. There's 16 teams. Hey, 11 and 12. Can the 13 seed win it this year?
Yeah.
I mean, 11 and 12. Nobody talked about them the last 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, and then that 12-5 matchup, Santa Fe Monsanto, that's another district matchup.
You talk about Santa Fe and Capital.
Yeah.
You talk about teams that are well coached. Gomez and Zach Cole are probably one of the underrated coaches in the state. But I went and watched Albuquerque High and Capital play, and that team is scary.
It is good. I mean, then you have Rio Rancho, Gadsden's no slouch. Atrisco are still the defending state champions with Adrian Ortega out there, and I mean, Roswell doing pretty good. I mean, so this is that one that,
against the defending
state champions. So. I mean, they still have that title to them, and you're right. We're all assuming that these top seeds, go on and win. But I mean, La Cueva could easily beat Cleveland, and Oñate. That's it, like Steve said.
That's why
it's
nobody
tough to
ever
beat 'em.
gets one of these bracket things 100%.
How about Roswell
right,
and Trisco? We didn't bring that up.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's Adrian Ortega.
They got two. I want to say Borello brothers, I think, are dealing. They're averaging 16, 17 points a game, and they've been falling off a little bit. They lost 5 out of the last 7 games, but they lost to Hobbs and Clovis. So
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, Atrisco.
And they're young.
With
very young.
Atrisco with the District 1 Player of the Year, Josiah Ramos.
Oh yeah, I mean,
And I mean, DeMarcus Sutphin. I mean, not a big scoring role this year, but but doing everything else for him.
That is who is going to be that dark horse player, because he has been unselfish all year playing defense, and I think he's got a little fire in him to be a little more helpful on the offensive side. So I think we're going to see a different Sutphin for this state
And then
tournament.
back to El Dorado, can Katana carry him?
Yeah,
That's
that's
it,
a
yeah.
big question.
I think you guys were talking about good matchups. That El Dorado Capital game is going to be a great game.
That is going to be a good one.
And
I
Joel
don't
Betas,
know.
they're going to be doing that game on
Just from that last game, watching that La Cueva El Dorado last game, Quintana didn't even play the first quarter. Barely played any, and they held the team.
Oh, you're speaking up about El Dorado.
Yeah, of course.
Jason,
Out
You
of
guys have it.
nowhere, out of nowhere, man.
Hey, I have to stand up.
Hey,
for
I brought it up. You were being real quiet over there.
I'm sorry, you guys were talking down about my Eagles, so I had to stand up for them. I think
No
they're
talking down. I mean, Roy.
I just brought them
Roy
up.
Sanchez keeps
I
them
think
good
that,
there.
I think they're great. I think you're 100% right. What
road-
Roy's
the road
done in
to
the last
victory.
2 weeks
The
to
road
get
to
a top
victory.
seed.
The road to victory ends with Volcano.
Ends with Volcano. That's
That's
what
what
you're
it
going
is.
with, that number 1. I mean, that is the easy side of the bracket. I mean, we've said it on the breakdown show. I mean, it's been said a few times. That right side of the bracket is just the gauntlet there.
And you know what?
For
I'll
whoever's
speak
doing it.
up, for Adam since he's not here. Rio Rancho, he got to give him a little love there. I mean,
Wally's got him.
Wally's
They need to get it together. Had my lock picked on those lock of the
I tell you
weeks.
what, Rio Rancho, could be playing either Cruces or Cleveland, right there. That's what I would say. But Trisco, I mean,
Yeah, you can't look over
how
Gadsden
great a
and
game
can't
is
look
that
over
going to be
Trisco
between
Roswell.
Trisco and Rio Rancho if that happens?
That would be huge if that was it. So
I mean, and Manzano, I mean, they've definitely had a up and down year, but I could definitely see them taking on Santa Fe. I could see that being a really, really good game, a real close game. Manzano, I mean, we saw them. Didn't they win the Joe Armijo Classic this year?
I believe so, yeah.
And I mean, so when this team wants to, they can be clutch, and I could see an upset happen right there. In that
Like
final.
I said, these 16 teams, hey, and people, even when I've done with the bracketology with Brian O'Neill, I always come out. This year. You said it earlier in the show. This is an exciting year because you take all 16 of these teams, and there's not a gimme on that.
There is not one gimme.
Yeah.
You're correct, Steve, on that one. Everyone's playing their best ball at the end of the season.
Like Volcano too. I mean, so they beat that. Potentially beat that first game at Carlsbad. I mean, the 2 dark horse teams in the tournament weighed them in the next round. I mean, you got Titletown and Hobbs. I mean, and Clovis. I mean, like Steve said,
with all
they played Volcano close already. They've played Cleveland really close. We did that early season My 50 game. So
2 minutes.
Hey, I'm gonna make a point real quick that will
right.
get everybody going. All right, okay. I'm gonna make this point is that you don't want to be a top 8 seed going into the state tournament because the 11 and 12 last year. Now is it going to be a 10 or a 13 that wins it this year?
Yeah, exactly. So let's jump into that 5A girls bracket real quick. Finish it up. 2 minutes left.
2 minutes left.
Sorry, girls.
Oh,
There it is. All right, now it's no surprise there. Hobbs, the number 1 seed, taking on Deming. La Cueva hosts Rio Rancho. Volcano will host Alamogordo. Carlsbad hosting Centennial. West Mesa will host Oñate. Mayfield hosting Sandia. Farmington will host Cleveland. Piedra Vista will host El Dorado. I mean, being here in the Metro, we've all seen the West Mesa team. I mean, Piedra Vista played them tough in district, beat them twice, made them have that 3 seed. Piedra Vista gets the 2 seed over Hobbs. I mean, that's the team I think everyone should be afraid of, is that Piedra Vista team. But not shedding light on that 6'11", Sandia. You always have to look out for Sandia. I mean, the Broussard there, she's dominating. They're the defending state champions. And 5 seed, that Lisa Viel
Lisa Villarreal.
Villarreal's young team is, I mean, they have put the state on notice this year.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and I mean, Lisa's won 3 state championships. I mean, you can't really ever count her out. She is one of the coaches. What I love about her coaching style is that she gets the best out of all of her players. She puts her players in the right positions to succeed. And you know what? They're young, but you know, I feel like they got some fire in them. But I mean, but that inexperience might come to get them against Alamogordo in that first round.
Oh, there's Adam.
I just want to talk West Mesa. Is it their year? Okay, I mean that's the,
yeah.
that's
Finally,
the big
I mean
question.
the girls Espivado saw them getting all their.
That's the Cinderella team. But
And I think
I'm
Sebastian said it right on the show. Emily Burke, if her defense is up to her normal standards, I think West Mesa gets back on the right track.
And I mean, if it works out, just playing the higher seed game, if the higher seeds win, I mean, if it's West Mesa PV in that champion in that semifinal game,
Watch out the pit.
You think like this is their last chance? I feel like they're gonna clutch factor it, and they know this is their last chance with this.
It is.
I mean, 3-time Metro champions.
3
like 3 straight
And
times.
then,
like
that Piedra Vista team is tough. They have
That
given
Piedra
West
Vista
Mesa-
And then
Hey,
is no joke.
Also, they're all playing in the pit.
Yeah, in the pit. No Santa Ana Star Center this year, so you're not going to get that depth. Maybe adjusting your shooting. So, I mean, West Mesa is going to be to watch, and Hobbs, of course. You can't ever count out Hobbs, defending state championships there or champions there.
what do we got going on this weekend?
Oh, this weekend, Friday night, we are going to be girls games only Friday night. Go to ProviewNetworks.com for the complete schedule. Saturday night, boys. We'll have all those links to the NFHS network. They'll all be on the NFHS network. Be sure to go on there, follow the Proview Networks link to NFHS network, get your pass.
Get 'em.
State tournament time, get that pass.
Show up to the games, buy your passes.
Show up,
enjoy.
buy the passes, tell your
Bring the
grandma.
rivals.
Steve, get a tan, enjoy some rest and relaxation. Next week,
We got a
I'll get
busy week.
I'll
We
be
got it.
in by Friday
You'll be
or
back by
Saturday.
Friday.
Saturday
Yeah,
night
yeah.
game. So.
The rest of those vocal cords, you guys are going to be screaming up a storm, yelling up. You guys do a great job. We host some shows. Next week, Ball Week, New Mexico State Championships, NFHS Network. Stay tuned to ProView Networks for shows in between. We'll keep you up to date. For Alden Ball So Hard University, Iowani. For Jason Southwest Pool, Josh the Quiet One Luna, I'm Josh Beartrap Brown. Have fun.